Me and Jake running down the street with a handful of comic books, kicking ass and banging chicks and drinking booze
No, not
and
me.
smoking
Not
weed.
me. I'm married.
Yeah, well,
I'm married.
Jake.
Can't do that.
Yeah. Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is episode 212, and we just got to the theater seeing James Gunn's Superman.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It's a lot of things. So I said from the beginning, we've talked about what James Gunn is going to do with DC for a long time on the show. So I obviously had expectations because I like most of, if not everything that James Gunn has made.
Mm-hmm.
So I had those expectations. I had the expectation of loving the DC universe.
Yeah, he hasn't steered me wrong.
And a lot of it for me is just I really desperately want, and I think you do too, because you love comic books. And you genuinely like Marvel stuff more, but you want a
Sure.
You of course want a successful DC,
Dude, I mean, yeah.
Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't? It's more awesome shit. Like, what's wrong with that? But yeah, so we're kind of just gonna go through our first impression or our impressions, how we kind of felt about it, and then we'll go into spoilers. So yeah, I had pretty high expectations, and it I think met and maybe even exceeded that.
Mm-hmm.
I was thoroughly happy with this movie. I really enjoyed it. A lot.
There were maybe one or two things about it that. And James Gunn's kind of repertoire in general, he's kind of gotten an MO for kind of, doing a bit before, it's done, move on type of thing. That's really it. My expectations were, of course, just, look, I trust him. He hasn't steered me wrong yet. I know that from everything I understand about this movie, I know that it hews close to my value system. I will admit that. But also, what's wrong with having a value system that has compassion and love like at the top of the list? It seems like a lot of you internet chud fucks are saying that's a bad thing and go fuck yourselves.
It's funny you're saying that because that's literally a title in Superman. What's wrong with truth, justice, in the America? Like that was like a legitimate, and it's that question like what's wrong? And I got to be honest, I know you're like this too. I get so sick and tired of people saying that Superman can't be interesting and there's nothing interesting. You're not fucking reading the right shit. Because with the right writer, he can be interesting and compelling.
All-Star Superman is fucking amazing.
Like this movie.
Man of Steel is pretty good.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah.
Are you talking about Snyder's movie or are you talking about Burns' book?
Burns' book.
Oh, yeah. And look.
Did you think I was talking about Snyder's movie?
Yeah, that's why I was confused for a second.
Yeah, okay, good. Because you were like,
what?
Well, I mean, it was interesting,
so,
but good.
I don't know. I don't know if you want to.
You know what, Snyder? You know what, Snyder?
Your impression.
You have to make the choice to make him kill somebody. You fuck.
By the way, I wish this Snyder cult people would let it go because they literally did a segment together on Rick and Morty as themselves, Zack Snyder and James Gunn, and they were like mocking each other, like they're friends. Fucking get over it. Like Zack doesn't care about this. Why are you?
Yeah.
I
enjoyed the Snyderverse for what it was, and yeah, it is what it is, man. Like we're moving on. We're moving forward. No reason to pick through the wreckage of the past.
Yeah. What were your impressions?
My first expectations again were that he hasn't steered me wrong yet. I really like Superman. As again, I've read the right stuff. You know what I mean? Like the stuff that is really compelling and things like that. But I knew Metamorpho was in it. He's one of my favorite, fan favorite. We'll get to that. Guy Gardner, one of my favorites, fan favorite. Hawk Girl, I knew was going to be cool. We'll get to that as well. And Mr. Terrific was, in a word, I was excited to learn more about the character because I don't know that much about the character. And I was excited and hopeful to see a lot of different cameos, because the way he made it seem was like he's in a world full of superheroes. Like, okay, well, I still only saw really like 4 others.
You know what?
And that's okay.
I want to kind of address.
That's okay, by the way.
Yeah. Well, I want to address that too because we can kind of talk about this without spoiling things and kind of give. I want to address some criticisms I've seen online because there are.
Can we just talk about what we didn't like about it? I mean, I
don't really have much I didn't like.
Okay, well, let me start. Every time Hawk Girl was flying, we don't need to hear her scream. Stop it.
Did scream a lot.
Stop it.
I agree.
Right? Nobody said, hey.
Screaming too much.
The entire... I know that maybe you think it has to be a part of the plot or whatever, but when Crypto like goes nuts and loses his mind, like, yes, it is like a regular dog. But you are also writing this story. And for the most part, this dog is computer generated. So you can kind of dictate whatever the fuck this dog does. I love that you gave him the personality that you did, but there were times...
I'm sure they probably motion captured a real dog or something. I'm
sure
there's like some
I'm sure most of the action sequences...
Oh, no, that dog is fully CG.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But I'm saying, like, I'm sure that, like, when he's playing and stuff, I imagine they, like, motion captured a real dog or some shit.
Yeah, and also, yeah, like, don't get me wrong. I've seen in the Marvel Universe, in the MCU, that James Gunn has, I don't want to say disrespected characters that I love, because he really didn't. Like, I used to have a big opinion about the Guardians of the Galaxy in Volume 2, right?
Oh, with Ego?
No, the Guardians of the Galaxy, Stakar, and then I realized the only reason that we get to see them on film at all is because of James Gunn.
It's his idea to put it in there, yeah.
Right. The other thing, I still criticize that we didn't get to see enough planet face fucking things with Ego. But I also understand that thematically, you kind of have to make him a dude, and he's done that in the comics, so it's not like you're fucking up the whole character. So you get what I'm saying, right? Like, every time he's done something to a character, I come around to it because either A, I'm not as invested in the character as I thought I was, or B, it doesn't bother me as much. Like, I was upset with how Adam Warlock was portrayed. I was.
Adam Warlock, I do feel like was something where he's like, oh shit, I teased this in that second movie. I had to pay this off, and I think his justification was like he's not the Adam Warlock we see in the comics.
But guess what?
He's a teenager.
I don't
basically
fucking care that much about Adam Warlock.
Really
so what the fuck? You know, like, why am I upset?
And they can always fix it later with other movies.
And by the end of the movie, he looked like he was ready. Whatever. It's a fucking character.
Get to the point. What are you talking about?
What am I talking about?
Characters.
What do you mean?
You had somewhere to go with this, right? We were talking about the characters in this movie. You said
No, I'm saying like there are moments like with Metamorpho that I didn't care for, like how he was portrayed.
What,
but
some of his abilities?
No, just again, this is when I hate myself. In the comics.
Oh, fuck off.
You know what I'm saying?
Fuck off.
Right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can show you that Metamorpho
bad guy
over there. No, but
right?
I can show you the Metamorpho over there that Rex Mason is like a badass, like Indiana Jones type of dude. Now,
he could still be.
Don't know what's going on with the baby Joey. He's in one of the toy sets that I've seen at Target for like the last couple weeks. So I don't know if that's a tease for something else. I don't know when we'll see him again.
He was a plot device to make Superman look cool or look human, whatever.
But let me make it clear.
Let me cough some more in the mouth.
That overall, let me get to the stuff that I loved.
I could talk about if there's anything
that's okay if you didn't not like it.
But there's some things I want to address.
Okay.
That don't have to be spoiler filled. I want to talk about people feeling this movie worried this movie would be overstuffed.
We're past spoilers.
Out. Let me just get to my thought. There's people out there that are going to say this movie's overstuffed. Or feel like maybe they were worried that it was going to feel overstuffed. I personally didn't think it was overstuffed.
No.
I think that he handled all those characters rather well and paced rather well. I have seen some criticism. Like, I feel like some people were like having some criticism that they wanted maybe a little bit more of a reason for why Lex hates Superman so much.
There is a reason. Anyway.
But maybe they wanted a little bit more of that backstory. I don't know. But I've seen people. Here's the thing. The biggest compliment I can give this movie is it is a comic book. 100% through and through, it's a comic book. From the fucking opening captions, the opening exposition is written like a comic book, where you would see those panels and those captions. And
yeah, I felt like I was looking at the opening splash page, and any minute I was going to see like written by drawn by.
I think some criticism you could put. I think would be fair for this is if you are not into comic books, it's a movie that could be viewed by anyone. But I could see how if you don't know anything at all about Superman,
if you know fuck all about Superman, I just
that you might be a little lost. However, this is what I love about Gunn. This character has existed since 1939. Everybody knows who fucking Superman is. So if there was like my son were to watch this movie and not understand any of this, here's the well, it's me. I could give him a ton of backstory, but the simplest backstory I could give him is he's an alien from another planet whose planet was blowing up, and his parents sent him to Earth. His mom and pa Kent found him and raised him, and he became a superhero and became Superman. That's all he needs to know. Boom. There we go into the movie. That's what I'm saying. It's like, that's why they don't need to do an origin story for Batman. They don't got to do it. Maybe a little bit more with Wonder Woman because she doesn't have as many movies, but she's such a popular character. Again, you don't got to worry about it. So I do think there could be criticism there that this is like, oh, well, if this is my first Superman movie, I might get a little lost.
Yeah.
But when a character has existed this long, you don't need to see him fucking leave Krypton again. You don't need to see him crash land in Smallville again. You know he's been there. You know he's existed. So again, I don't think I have much I dislike about this movie.
And that's perfectly
I will say
okay.
I think it's a little... I felt like it was kind of weirdly edited at points.
Yes.
I felt like there were some weird jump cuts.
The fight scenes. Especially between him and his clone. Spoilers already.
Gunn was
dude.
doing
Come
some
on.
fun shit with the fight scenes.
Sure, but that's what kind of made me.
I agree
what?
with. I do think sometimes he got a little overboard with it. But
he's having fun. He's having fun.
I think this is a very, very fun movie. I think it got, it kind of played in his edgier tendencies a little bit. I think at times, and I'm just like, there are times that I'm like, dude.
Well, dude, when he's spitting up all the nanites,
that's
definitely
the Portal universe. I'm like, well, okay, it's gonna be a couple years before I could probably show this to my kid because the fucking ferryman is so creepy looking. I know my kid. I couldn't. I
felt like that was Clayface. We'll get to all that.
But there's some things I'm like, okay, well, my son's 3, so I'm like, okay, maybe a few more years before he could watch something like this because it doesn't go like too hardcore at all. I'm just saying that, like, I just think there's some things where it's like, okay, maybe a little bit older, but. Take your family. It's a fun fucking movie. Go enjoy yourself.
Let's talk about the things that we do like. And by the way, I have to say it again. Go back like 10 minutes if you didn't hear us say spoilers. Because
it's spoilers now. Yeah, spoilers. Everybody's getting their fucking spoiled shit.
Speaking of Lex Luthor, let's get into that because I absolutely fucking loved Nicholas Holt's interpretation of Lex Luthor. He was brash and quick-witted. And the way he spoke and everything. And here's the thing. When you boil it all down, Lex Luthor hates Superman because Lex feels like he should be the person that everybody loves. Not Superman. That's the basic shit about Lex Luthor. And this movie portrayed that perfectly.
Yeah, because...
Now, he does, in other iterations, he has spoken about how... he shouldn't have anything to do with this planet because, he's an alien and we're humans. That has been in some iterations, right? And I don't mind that kind of storyline or that kind of motivation for Lex Luthor because it makes sense to me. It makes sense to me that somebody, if we knew there was an alien, if there was a superhero, we knew he was an alien, of course there would be people who were like, well, I don't want no alien touching my, dealing with human affairs. You know what I mean, right? Mm-hmm. So... bottom line, I fucking loved Nicholas Holt's Lex Luthor. Fantastic.
I liked it a lot too. I think the cast overall did a great job.
Note for note. Lois Lane.
I like her a lot.
Yeah, but she was just. I mean, was there any Lois Lane moments?
She broke this. Her and Jimmy got that story from. Like her and Jimmy were working in the background with the Luthor story the whole time.
Yeah. Why am I trying to find...
She literally... I don't know what you want if you're going to be...
I'm just kidding.
That's the thing I think I love. Again, I said it earlier. I just cannot drive that enough home. It is a comic book, and it feels like it reads like a comic book. It reads like this was a trade. This was a 5-issue story, and it just feels like that. Yeah. And that what I love about that is when these other... elements come in, these other characters, it's written in a way like a comic book that you just it's in that world and they just accept it, and we don't have to sit there and kind of dissect it.
He talked about that going into it. He was like, "Look, when you get in here, there's going to be a lot that's already there."
Yeah,
and
I love that about it. I love that.
I fucking loved like the Justice Gang. Yes. I loved Guy Gardner.
That Maxwell Lord is a thing, and how all that's going on.
Mr. Terrific was awesome,
dude.
Like, he had a really big role, and I like that. And notwithstanding the screaming, like I liked Hawkgirl. She wasn't really in the movie that much.
Yeah.
But like during the whole like Hall of Justice scene, like she was pretty good.
She's great in The Last of Us. She's in season 2.
Okay.
There's so many things about this
Guy Gardner
that, again, if you are a DC fan, you're just gonna fucking eat this movie up. And if you're a comic book fan, you're gonna eat this shit up. Yeah. I just don't understand. There's some criticism about this movie, but again, I don't get it. You could argue. I feel like my biggest thing, I think, is kind of choppy at parts, but I feel like everything had a payoff. Everything made sense, and it was, it all kind of fell into place. I mean, you could say argue it's a predictable plot, but that's okay.
None of what I criticized made me dislike the movie. Yeah. It was just, as a fan of movies, I want what I want, you know. But again, James Gunn has yet to steer me wrong. We got to talk about the heart-to-heart between Superman and Lois when an entire fucking battle is happening in the night sky behind them. And at one point, like, Guy Gardner
has
using
a baseball bat to smack this, like, interdimensional imp.
It doesn't like necessarily take anything away from
and it's happening the whole entire time.
Exactly.
Because there's a shot where she's talking to him and you can see her reflection. Yes. There's a window and they're in the fucking background.
That was great.
Yeah. Well, all of it is. I love the fact that we get a live action Green Lantern again.
Yeah.
I love the fact this is the first time we ever heard I made
the oven mitts.
Like you were just talking about, and I'm going to tie it back to your point earlier. We have never seen Mr. Terrific in live action, and a lot of people, that's their only exposure to that character.
Yes,
and that's awesome. And then we got the Hawkgirl, who doesn't get as much, but like she like I said, she
has her moments.
She did well enough for what she had.
Yeah,
but dude, Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner, because that's the thing. So many years people tried to fan cast him as Hal Jordan.
Yeah.
He played he was the voice of Hal Jordan in a lot of those DC animated movies.
Yeah.
And a guy who knows the Green Lantern shit, obvious, and so does James Gunn. And to bring him in and have him do this, he was so fucking funny, dude.
Dude,
every time he talked, I laughed because he just
because everything I made the oven mitts. Can you help him? Right?
We're fighting the fucking kaiju.
Yes.
I was crying because they're fighting, and
Hawkgirl's like, a little help.
The choice to have him chewing gum all the fucking time when he's doing this, and then the nonchalantness about it. She's like, "Can you help me?" Because her leg is caught in the eyelashes of this giant monster. He's like, "What? I made oven mitts." Yeah. And he's just sitting there like, what? Like, he couldn't be fucking bothered.
He played a character in Volume 3 on that, like, fleshy...
Oh, yeah.
And
he's always in James Gunn shit.
Right, but that was the time... That was one time that I know that he's a good actor, so he can do, a lot of different things, but I've mainly seen him as, like, a comedic actor a little bit. I love his... He knocks it out.
Great comedy job.
His one bit in Saving Private Ryan is fucking knocks it out of the park. Do you know what I'm talking about?
But I don't
he's the first he's the first Private Ryan that they find. Remember, it's when they get caught in France. Like, Ted Danson is one of the
I remember the scene. Yeah.
But he's all like, "My dad's dead. My brother, he's only 5."
Yeah, they realize like, "Oh shit!"
Like he knocks it out of the park, right? But I knew after seeing that role in Volume 3, I'm like, he's going to be a perfect fucking Guy Gardner, dude. He's just going to be.
He is such a shit.
And fucking hats off for
the bowl cut,
for fighting for that,
dude.
Both
of them were like, we're going to have the bowl cut.
Yes.
We're doing the bowl cut.
You have to.
I watched a clip of them making the wig, and James Gunn was like, yeah, can we get that to just like stick to his scalp permanently, and then he's like, "I'm right here. I can hear you say,
motherfucker."
And he's like, they showed him like, because they took like this big like blonde, like Owen Wilson looking wig, and then they trimmed it into bowl cut.
Of course.
And he's just like, "For my next number," he's like in his dressing room, like flicking the wig around and shit, while they're cutting it, and like, I just
of the cloth.
We're of the cloth. Oh my god!
Yeah.
When they, first of all. To go back to Silver Age shit with the hypno glasses, to do shit with like, there's just so many things. There's these little Easter eggs of all this DC, the fucking hypno glasses, and
which is a long forgotten part of Superman lore.
My favorite part about that, I feel like he maybe have ad-libbed the snapping at Terrific because they don't pan to him at all or anything, and that's what makes it even funnier because he goes, "What's the Terrific? Whatever," but you can't see.
He makes your brain like not see what.
But he just us because we're of the cloth.
Yeah, we're of the cloth.
Oh my god, that bowl cut should be a good. Oh yeah, anytime we have to do anything, you keep bringing up your stupid vows to the Green Lantern Corps. Yeah.
That haircut should be against your vows.
The what? The what?
The what?
And then you and I cackled. They didn't even say anything, but we cackled because it's a stupid shot where they're talking about the conflict between the Bavaria and the other country. And he's just sitting there eating a bowl of Fruity Pebbles at a diner somewhere.
Like what?
And when he shows up to save the people getting attacked, when he shows up, he's like, "Oh yeah, he's busy, so you got an upgrade."
You got an upgrade, spits.
And his fucking.
And then he waves, and like it's all these different hands.
Projections are different fists, and then a couple of them are middle fingers.
And just raising
flipping
up.
Tanks. And he's
so
just,
great.
And he's walking casually while he's just blowing by these tanks. And it's like, God, man, as a Green Lantern fan, it's like, fuck, finally, we get to see something with Green Lantern on screen.
And here's the thing about Guy Gardner that is so accurately portrayed in this movie. And I don't really care about comic accuracy. I really don't. As long as it's a good movie. But it was accurate because the one thing about Guy Gardner is he is absolutely fearless. He fears nothing. However,
well, that's why his willpower is so strong.
Right. His abilities are not. Have you heard the expression "your body's writing" or your mouth is writing checks that your body can't cash"? That is Guy Gardner in a nutshell.
Batman punched him out in one punch.
One punch. I have that book.
Knocked him out in one punch.
I have that book. Justice League International.
Which is why I hope, what I would love to see, I don't know if they'd ever do it, but I would love to see, like, Nathan Fillion's Guy Gardner become a Red Lantern and do that. Like, I think that would be fun.
Yeah.
But I kind of like him just being this silly idiot because I don't think they would ever do that, but I'm interested to see how because he said that he's in the Lantern show. I'm wondering how he's going to play into that.
It seems like they're starting at, dare I say, a glacial pace, which is fine with me, okay? He's moving forward like that, and that's, like I said, I think that's actually a good way because the last time they were like, oh, shit, we have to do Superman versus Batman right away. And it's like, no, you fucking don't. What? You know, like that's how that got all fucked up because then they started doing stuff way ahead of time, announcing shit, all this other shit, right? So I like the way James Gunn is doing it, but at some point, I don't think the world is ready for the Lanterns saga. You know what I mean?
Well,
I think they got to get used to the Green Lantern first before they start introducing orange lanterns. And blue lanterns.
I love this already because
white lanterns.
What we're doing here is we're like, okay, we're clearly going with an older Hal who's probably who I've been saying for years when they announced this like 13,000 fucking years ago when I said make it a buddy cop thing where an old Hal is training a young John. Look, they did it, and now you have Guy playing a factor into this. And the fact that we're gonna get the idea of a space cop. Like just procedural of Green Lanterns in space, which should have been done, which was the easiest slam dunk DC and Warner Brothers could have had a decade ago.
Hello. Wake up. We've been telling you fucks.
He's a space cop. Make him a fucking space cop.
He's a space cop. Make him a space cop.
I love that too, that he's just, well, I made a vow to fight threats like Superman, so I'm not doing it. Like, I'm not going to fucking do it. But
that haircut should be against your vows.
What?
The what?
Another thing that fucking Mr. Terrific's great. And the fact that, like, And you could say that sometimes his humor is a little much in this movie, sure, but like just the little subtleties of the humor where I'm not really into having a conversation. And just, she starts talking and he just turns at her like, "Well, you just I don't I'm serious. I don't."
Yeah, the look he shoots her is just.
I really don't want to talk to you. I just want to do this.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not really into the people thing, is what he said. Like, I don't care for people, really. But I am excited to see that character get some shine.
Yeah.
And I love that he wore the fucking jacket that said fair play on it and, like, just all the touchdown. I don't know a ton about Mr. Terrific. I do know that
really know
mask is robots, like nanites.
Yeah.
Like, that's fucking cool.
Yeah.
Like, his design. And then how they made his eyes look white with using the tech. Like, there's so many cool shit they're doing. And it goes back to what I've been saying when we talked about when they had finally put Hugh Jackman in the yellow. There's a reason these colors look great on a page and they pop. And this movie is colorful and bright. And this movie is almost 100% a 180 from whatever Zack Snyder was trying to do.
Yeah.
And it's to the movie's benefit.
Mm-hmm.
It is a hopeful movie.
Well,
it is a cheesy movie when it needs to be.
Look, the Superman movies, the Richard Donner Superman movies were more lighthearted than not. The Batman movies, the Tim Burton franchise, if you will, those 5, was it 5? 4.
What?
The Batman Returns, Batman
Burton
and Robin, Batman Forever.
2.
I know, but that entire
4.
franchise was 4, right? Yeah. But Burton, that entire franchise, they went hardcore, gritty, and Frank Miller. And by the 3rd movie, DC was like, "Hey, Joel Schumacher, can you make it a little more campy?" And I feel like
sell these toys to kids.
I feel like DC has kind of been going back and forth between those two extremes for a long time, and I am fine. Here's what I like about James Gunn is he can walk that line better than a lot of other filmmakers. And if he's in charge of the whole kit and caboodle, he can be like, "Hey, this works and that doesn't work." You know, like I'm not going, as a filmmaker, I'm not going to dictate to another filmmaker what they can and can't do. But I am going to tell them, "Hey, this is what we're shooting for. I trust you to," when I train people, I'll get there. When I train people in a kitchen, I go, "Here's what we start with, and this is what it looks like when I'm done. I'm going to show you how I do it, but I don't care how you do it. As long as you get this to this, you can use everything I tell you, or you can do it completely differently." I believe that's the way James Gunn is going to handle his filmmakers and his storytellers under this DCU. Look, you see what I did with Superman? This is what I started with. This is where I got. Whatever you want to do in the middle is fine with me. But you got to get here. It's got to look and feel like this. You know? Does that make sense?
No.
I'm saying he's not going to be on set like, "No, you can't use a shot like that."
Yeah.
Fuck you. That was kind of a brilliant whole thing.
And this is what I find interesting.
All over it.
And I understand. I'm going to be interested in how they're going to toe this line too, because Clayface is going to be R-rated.
Yeah.
Creature Commandos is very much.
Yeah.
R-rated.
The more I think about it, that wasn't Clayface. It was just some dude.
Yeah, but
it could have been. I mean, they did greenlight a Clayface
I think
movie.
Another thing that I really liked about this was how important it was. Again, the opposite with what Snyder's movies were. How important it is that he try and save everything that's living. It's not just people. He's saving a squirrel at one point.
I fucking love
saves
that.
A dog, saves a squirrel, saves a more than just
love
people.
that
And the fact that
squirrel.
he's fighting the kaiju that they dropped in from the pocket dimension, and they throw this kaiju out there, and even the kaiju, he's trying not to kill it. He wants to get it off planet. He just wants to. He said, like, I don't know, maybe a zoo somewhere.
Euthanize
or
it less,
or maybe
painfully.
kill it. Because then he's probably thinking, like, I'm the one that's got to carry this fucking thing. I'm the one that's gonna have to pick it up. But and that's what I'm saying is it's a theme that runs throughout, and it's tied to his character and his belief of preservation of life. So when a person is executed in front of him, it hurts him and hits him even more because he knew that he cared about that person because he cares about most people, and it really shows. And I want to. Jake's talking politics. Here's the air quotes politics of it. There was an article that someone said that, and I don't want to give the actual. I'm going to butcher it, but essentially what they're saying is Superman isn't political. We just live with real supervillains.
Yeah.
And
Sorry.
that's the truth.
Sorry.
If you have any problems...
All those tech guys are
And that's the
real-life
thing.
Lex Luthors.
If you have any problems with how Superman is portrayed and how this story is portrayed, you don't fucking like Superman. And B, shut the fuck up.
I love your arguments. Listen, firstly, here's a good argument. Second, fuck yourself.
Yeah.
I love the way you craft.
Because this is a movie. This Superman cares about every person on that's living. Even Metamorpho was in charge of torturing him, and he saved his baby and saved Metamorpho because he knew
because that's the right thing to do.
That it was the right thing. That
thing
baby
to do.
didn't deserve anything that happened to that baby.
No.
And he knew that Metamorpho was only in that situation because Lex put him in that situation.
Yeah.
And like when that moment, and then the moment with, I wish there were a little bit more with Lois. That is a criticism. I don't think there was enough time between the scenes that they had were so good that I wanted more.
Steve Lombard, the sports writer for the Daily Planet, was awesome. I love that they got Beck
Of course,
Bennett.
he has a mustache. Too.
Beck Bennett from SNL because he's actually naturally buff, and that's kind of the kind of the deal about Steve Lombard is he's overtly macho, but he's really a pussy.
Yeah,
and that's
so he's crying the whole time when they're getting attacked.
And by the way, we're looking at a lot of you.
Yeah, and this movie is a story about of immigration, if you want to look at it that way. But no, it's not overtly a very political movie.
Not really, unless you think fucking being kind is political. You fucking
also, hey, Bub B,
nut,
sit down. Let me tell you something.
Sorry.
All art is political.
Yeah.
Whether it's intentional or not, it's political.
Sorry.
That's just the way it is. Because when you share your opinions, it turns into that. What's some other thing? I'm kind of hitting the things that I really want to talk about.
I think we're pretty close to having covered everything other than Supergirl?
What did you think about? So you talk about the fights before we get to that, because I do want to talk about that and what that means and kind of where the DCU is going to go. I think this is a great jumping off point. I think he nailed exactly what he needed to do. And again, going back to the overstuff things, I think he had to just kind of throw you in and just be like, "This is where we're at." And this is and again, I like the pace of slow burning the fucking Justice League. We have no idea what Batman is doing right now.
Fine.
And
that's fine.
Take your time with
That's
him.
fine.
You know what? I bet he's just trying to buy time so Reeves can make Batman Part 2 and get that out of the way.
I thought that wasn't necessarily going to be.
No, it's not. I think that's what I mean. I don't think he wants that confusion and to
That's
crowd.
a fair point.
And I don't think they want to kill their own.
But no, I liked every bit of it. If
I could have done a little bit more with just Superman himself, maybe. But I think somebody could come to me and make a legitimate argument and almost sway me to it that this is less of a Superman movie and more of a DCU jumpstart movie. And
okay,
that's fine.
But I will tell you this. The theme of the whole movie itself is hope, and the theme of the superhero itself has always been hope. Now, I liked how Snyder tried to be a dork and be like, well, it's a symbol for hope on my planet. Ooh, it's not an S.
It means hope.
I'm Zack Snyder. Oh, was it hope?
Can we talk about that? What did you think about the idea that, his parents sent him to rule as the last son of Krypton?
That's absolutely comic accurate. Absolutely.
No,
yeah.
But what do you think about that being like, what, like...
I'm okay with that because...
I love the idea that we're actually going to go with that and commit to it. Well... Because the other movies never bothered to touch on that.
No, they didn't. And not really. I mean, now, it's kind of implied with the Brando in the Donner movies a little bit.
That he's building them up to something, yeah.
That, you're superior to them, whatever.
Rule them, yeah.
But definitely it was not in Snyder, which I loved fucking Russell Crowe's Jor-El.
Mm-hmm.
I really did.
His very he's playing his Maximilian.
But he's like a scientist.
Yeah.
He's I liked it.
I say Maximilian. Is that
Maximilian? Yeah, I believe that was his
name. That was his name in Gladiator?
Maximilian, yeah.
But
I really but in general what?
Oh, yeah.
But in general in the comics, no, you're okay. Don't hold on to that thought. In general in the comics, more iterations than not have said, hey, we know we know that when you get there, the yellow sun will give you, powers beyond measure. This is how you, in fact, in the John Byrne thing, he actually does, like, that's how they say it. Or that's the lore, is that his parents wanted him to rule.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
To rule Earth in Krypton's image and remake.
You know what?
Planet,
I like the idea that it could be either or, because that's the beauty of these comic books. Is like it doesn't really matter how. Like
I liked how the movie dealt with it. How he grew up, especially that one-on-one. We were kind of making fun of it when they.
No, that was great. When he's like, I wanted to bring that back. Thank you. I wanted to talk about that because yes, it's funny to have that in the background, but. And here's another people that had criticisms of it. It was like, we can't have a nice moment without a joke in it. I'm like,
yes, you can.
You can.
Because that's life.
You could be upset about that, but exactly.
How many times
something really horrific happens to me, the first thing I do out of nervousness, not trying to be funny,
sometimes
is
I laugh.
I make a joke or I laugh because I'm like, what the fuck? Like I just laugh or I'm scared or whatever. So I can see that, but yeah, that heart to heart is great because he says, I never wanted to rule anybody, and she goes, I never believed that for a second.
No, yeah.
Like she was there to tell him, like, you were never this guy that they wanted you to be.
Right. But the way he describes it to her is like, I grew up with the first half.
Yeah.
I never heard that second half. It was corrupted.
Yeah.
But, and I think he talks about it with his dad later. Yeah. Like the first thing, it's the first part that determines who I am. Because that's what I grew up with and that's what I've lived my life as.
These people, yes.
I don't care what the second part is because that doesn't define me. And he was like, your choices make you who you are.
Oh, yeah,
I loved that he couched it like, okay, you only have like, man, if not for that, message being, corrupted, who knows, right?
Yeah.
But it's corrupted just enough for them to give him the tools to be a good-hearted
to give
person.
Him his purpose, yeah.
Yeah, but you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and then Lex, and then it was just brilliant for Lex to like somehow get that out. And then use the linguists of the planet and get
and
that.
Be like, no, it's real. Yeah,
and he's like, yeah, it's real. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, you guys. But that was really cool. I loved that plot device, and I really liked. It's a great way to show a little bit. All these chuds and shit talk about cancel culture all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to be really honest, this Superman movie, does away and makes fun of the so-called cancel culture.
Literally are monkeys.
They're
literally monkeys.
But it makes fun of the cancel culture because how many times, like Louis C.K., right?
Yeah.
Oh, you thought he was one way, but he got in trouble for this one thing, so now we completely abandoned him.
I would not be surprised if Diddy had some sort of album coming out.
Diddy's a whole other thing. I'm starting with Louis C.K.
But you know what I mean?
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
What Louis C.K. did was wrong and disgusting and fucked up, right?
Yeah.
But does that make me enjoy his comedy less? I don't know because I haven't watched it since,
Sorry.
Superman before Lex Luthor puts that out. Look at how quickly people turned on him, right? But James Gunn also shows that it's not a fucking career-defining thing and it's not forever. In fact, a week later, nobody will give a shit.
Right.
And
that theme with Paw, I want to get back to that too.
He is soothing. All these right-wing assholes are like, it's too woke. And if they would shut the fuck up and pull their heads out of their asses, they would realize that this movie is trying to bring us together by showing both sides what irritates them and that, yes, it's wrong.
Yeah.
Right? So, fuck you alt-right motherfuckers, because you're pieces of shit.
I do love that theme.
Just want to throw that out there.
With the Paw, having that parallel with Paw Kent and just being like,
we're supposed to let you.
Well, no, and him having that moment, and that's one of the moments I cried because it's such a great moment where he goes like, it's not, parents don't exist to define you. We just give you the tools to
we're
become
supposed
the person
to let you make mistakes.
You have to be a fool by yourself.
Yes.
I can't. And that's the thing is, and that's what the thing with me is like. There's some times where you have to be like, okay, well, he has to fail or fall or something to cause him to think, and then that can be the part where I be like, look, this is why this happened, or And I always tell that. I talk about that with my wife, where it is human nature when you have a kid to have expectations in some way, right? It's just human nature.
But
I constantly do what Pa Kent does here, and I constantly remind myself it doesn't matter. Because he's gonna live the life that he's gonna live, and my only job and my only care is that he is the happiest he can be, and he lives the life that he wants to live, whatever that is.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'll support it.
Yeah.
And that's why Pa Kent has always been such an amazing character, and like it's such a like I'm tearing up talking about it. It's such a tender moment, and that's again what we have been fucking missing from DC for so long. It's okay to have the edgy, dark shit. You're getting that with Creature Commandos and Clayface and all this other shit.
But bring the heart.
God, bring this shit, man. I want this. I want to cry at a Superman movie. I want to feel.
I also cried during the final confrontation with Lex when he has that speech.
Yeah, I cried too.
Because
or when they put the flag up and I was welling up with the music.
Me too. But let's talk about the elephant in the room, which I guarantee you that speech is what alt-right fucking chuds are freaking out about. Because what do you mean? Well, they're trying to tell you in a not so subtle way that you're an asshole for thinking that any human should be illegal, you fuck.
And the fact that Lex would put that label of who he sees Superman as. He goes, I've never done anything.
It's not a he, it's an it.
Oh yeah, that.
Gee.
Yeah.
What does that sound like? Who does that sound like?
Or the whole thing where he has that speech, and I also love this, the little using the lens flare for a narrative reason. Because
they kept panning back and forth, and the sun kept
constantly and
coming from behind his head. I love that was cool.
I love that because it's just showing you him being fully powered.
Constant the sun going, the sun appearing and reappearing and disappearing and all that was a perfect metaphor for Superman. Here, check this out. This to me, the fact that Superman gets his powers from the fucking sun, to me, Superman has always represented the sun, if you will, because
the last son of Krypton.
Yes, right. You know what I mean? I don't know. It just always has. So
and then we can wrap it up talking about what we think with Supergirl and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
The
thanks
fight,
for watching them, bitch.
What did you think? So you were talking about the fights. I liked a lot of what he was that baseball sequence, the baseball stadium.
There were a couple of
where I liked that it was kind of disorienting because that would what a fight would be with
when
these,
when he took the engineer and rotated back on his clone.
Used her to whip her and hit.
We didn't even talk about the clone. Ultraman.
Ultraman is a clone.
By the way, the engineer was a really cool idea. Let's move, but kind of a throwaway character.
You can't talk about everything.
She was kind of a throwaway character,
Whatever.
but the clone was interesting.
Wow, we're going for a clone.
Are we doing bizarre? Are we saying that's Bizarro? Well, of course he's gone now. Well,
he could come back from the other side. Hold on.
Did it stop?
No, we're good. It did the feedback thing.
Oh,
I turned it off.
When yeah, I mean, or you could eventually down the road make a.
I would love that to be Bizarro
in Justice League.
Maybe that's with the hair
with
being
the
a little bit longer.
with the Ultron or with Ultraman, because that's
he
his
already
name.
said they're going to do the Authority, which has Ultraman in it. So there has to be some other.
And Ultraman is an alternate. Excuse me, universe Superman, and if maybe he didn't get destroyed by the black hole because he's Superman.
Maybe that's what happens in the beginning of the Authority. They explain how that happens, or he gets pulled back through. I don't know. I think I love that sometimes the fight seems a little disorienting because again that I feel like that would make sense with these characters zipping and flying through the air like that. I loved how scary the nanites getting into his bloodstream was and like covering the eyeball, very as a Raimi fan.
Body horror.
Very Raimi-esque.
He definitely got some body horror in there, which was.
But the idea of him to okay, I'm gonna use the friction and shoot himself up, and then the fucking pin drop down was that shit's cool. And then that whole last bit of sequences of the reveal of we're doing that, and then I couldn't help but notice Corn Sweat looks a lot like Cavill, a lot. I never noticed that before, and then I saw him with longer hair, and I'm he looks a lot like Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
But I understand that they were going for a little bit younger, so that's Corn Sweat's great. I don't think I did touch that enough. He's great. Rachel Brosnahan is great. Brosnahan. All of them are great. Mr. Terrific.
I think I said it at one point earlier. Note for note, pretty much every character, every role, every performance in the movie was pretty much just stellar.
I think Clark looks good.
The cast of characters in Lex's brain room.
Yeah.
Was fucking great, by the way. Don't want to get into every one of them. But what are you talking about? Sorry.
Oh, no, I'm saying I think that this Clark looks the most different than Superman.
Yes, and because his hair is kind of curly. But what I want to say is when that first trailer dropped and that fucking guitar is going and they show him walking down that is the first time that evoked Christopher Reeve's Superman with me. Because it reminded me of Christopher Reeve. And I was like, dude, I am fucking all fucking in off of that part alone.
I will tell you this. I smiled a lot.
Yeah.
And because, again, as many people want to say he's corny and stupid and not as interesting, bullshit. Because I defy you to watch shit like this and not crack a smile and not want to cheer for fucking Clark
We're the
Kent.
Justice Gang.
How can you
We're
not want to
called the
cheer for a
Justice
guy
Gang.
who lands here and says, I am going to make this place better. I don't care if you love it or you hate it. I'm gonna take care of you guys.
Did you like at the end when he's like Metamorpho's like, yeah, I really like this. He's like, you're not material.
You're not
He's
in
like,
this.
You're not material for the Justice Gang. We're not called
Justice
that. That name is awesome.
You're in.
You're in.
Dude, I would watch an HBO Max series of just the Justice Gang. I would watch that.
Fuck it. Peacemaker makes a fucking appearance.
Oh, yeah.
I told
You know
you
why
this is
he
how we
does?
do our great movie reviews because everything leads to something else, and eventually
You know why he shows
we
up?
get
By the way,
everywhere.
August 21st, we
Yep,
get Peacemaker.
boom.
You know why he shows up? Because they filmed this and Peacemaker next to each
but
other.
I love
So
that
he would run. He
showed up.
Gunn said he would run back and forth. So yeah, of course they have his cameo, and it's just like, yeah, I think he's a fucking turd.
And let's also talk about Michael Ian Black's character, who's
dude. To name as a kid who grew up watching those fucking VH1, I love the blanks, the 80s, 90s. Seeing him in this made me cackle.
dude. He was in The State is how I got introduced to him. That show on MTV. And
But you know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh yeah,
Those VH1
I know what
shows.
you're talking about, but. The State is
Yes.
fucking brilliant, and he's been in countless other shit.
He did a lot of shit with the Reno 911
He'll
guys,
pop,
too.
yes, he'll pop up like all sorts of places.
Yeah.
It's crazy. He does a podcast, blah blah blah.
He's a funny dude.
But one thing I want to talk about is his arc is absolutely indicative of these fucking YouTube motherfuckers
That are just
who are
clicks.
whatever the fucking sponsors want me to say. You know,
Like, oh, well, we did talk to this guy and propped him up, and we're a big part of him, like, fucking going after
we
Superman.
thought he was a,
But
yeah.
he's a traitor. Yeah, fuck that guy.
fuck
Yeah.
that guy.
We took that money.
Yeah,
but
we did, yeah. What up, Alex
I got
Jones?
that fucking plane from Quotar, you know. Oh, sorry. Too real.
Yeah.
So I think interesting thing.
Do we have
Justice Gang is, I think, going to play directly into Peacemaker
sure.
because Maxwell Lord and Hawk Girl. I don't know if it was Green Lantern.
Hot girl.
Hawk Girl.
Oh, yeah.
Were interviewing him in that trailer for Peacemaker.
Oh.
They were talking about recruiting him.
Oh.
So I think that's the
Who
thing.
plays Maxwell Lord?
Sean Gunn.
Are you
He's
sure?
at the he's
I
at
don't
the
think
end.
it
No,
is.
yeah, he's at the end saying
I thought that looked like him, but I could have sworn it was somebody
he
else.
was the
I'm
one
just
who's saying
checking.
that Lex Luthor sucks.
He remember. Yes, he
Yeah.
looked like it too, but I want to make sure
can't,
because
man.
I felt like it was like
I'm telling you.
I felt like it was somebody else.
Oh, it was
Damn
Weasel.
it.
It was actually Weasel.
It was actually Weasel. You fucking.
Also,
bug.
shout out to Rick Flag being in the movie,
Mm.
making a cameo. He's kind of like the thing that's like patching things together.
Yeah.
So he was in. I'm sure he'll be in.
who am I looking for here?
Did I see that he's in Peacemaker? It would be smart to have that and deal with whole
I
his
believe
son's
he is.
death, but you know. Well, the pocket dimension shit's gonna come back because of the end of the trailer that we're showing another Peacemaker. So I don't know. I'm in. It's
yeah,
good.
I'm absolutely.
Supergirl shows up, by the way. So instead of an end credit scene that actually is like, you know, moving the story forward, we kind of get an end credit scene right before. We find because earlier in the movie he's like, "Hey, it's a foster situation."
You're right. Yeah, it is Sean Gunn. Yeah,
Thank you.
I could have sworn it was like somebody else, but
But
whatever.
anyway, yeah. Supergirl crash lands into the Fortress of Solitude because she's she's there to get her dog back, and she's a little wasted, a little drunk, and it's just funny because you see him judge his cousin, like, "Oh, my cousin's back," and I did not expect that at all. I did not, because I know that Supergirl's the next movie,
Yeah,
but I just did not expect that. So I was like, "Oh, okay, cool," and you were kind of like, well, "I don't know about this," because she's kind of like a party girl.
No, I again,
So you-
every time I go, oh, I don't like what he did with this character. Eventually, like I come around to it. So I
So-
I
but the
don't want to
reason-
be like that with
The
this
reason I'm
character.
okay with it, yeah, is because it's going for the Tom King Supergirl
Sure.
Woman of Tomorrow where she's kind of a party girl, and yeah, she does go to these red sun planets to get drunk, and she gets stuck on one, and she has to fight Lobo, and I think that's what they're going to do with this movie, and Lobo is going to be Jason Momoa. We don't really know that much about it. I know that it started filming either it's about to or it just started. I can't remember, but it's like close, and because it's coming out next year. I'm excited because we've never seen
James
Supergirl
Gunn
on the big screen.
I think
this.
James Gunn would be smart. I think
he's not directing that one.
What?
Supergirl.
No, I know. I think what he should do is say, you know what, like as far as these first rounds of kind of movies go or whatever, what is it called in the MCU?
Gods and Monsters.
No, what is it?
Chapter 1.
No, like the Infinity Saga, there was phase. In this
Gods and Monsters.
In this first phase, yeah, that's what it calls it. In this first phase, it's cool to have co-stars and like a lot of cameos. You know what I mean? Like, because you want to establish the world, right? But I feel like he's gonna do another Superman movie. I feel like, and I think that it would be really good to make it more Superman centric than this one is. That I don't mind that he put more into it than just Superman because it was all good.
Yeah,
and
I would like a more personal
It's not
story.
a disservice to Superman.
No.
But yes, I would like one where it's not so much, hey, I'm also introducing this stuff.
I would like them, honestly, their chemistry is so great.
Yeah.
Do something with their relationship and try and do something there. You can still have the big fucking fights and all the comic booky shit that you would, but yeah, I would try maybe.
You have to have a fight.
Yeah, you have to. You have to have conflict. Otherwise, it's not a story.
You have to have a fight.
Yeah. So I love that what we're going there. I'm excited. And I'm honestly kind of just like really excited to think like, hey, we're getting some more firsts. Like, it's the first time we're going to see Supergirl on the big screen.
No.
When?
Helen Slater back in the 80s. The people who made Alexander.
Cannon, whatever. Those fucking
Hey,
movies.
I'm just saying, we have seen her on the fucking big screen,
well,
okay?
By a real legitimate fucking studio, not Canon. Those fucking.
It was the same people who they were.
No.
They were
that quality
affiliated.
In that product
They were affiliated with Donner at one
You're a piece of shit if you don't fucking
bitch.
understand.
Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.